Hey guys, we're back again with the Couch Confessions. I'm Jordan Flaherty, and this episode, and potentially the final episode, at least for a while, we'll be covering my single Love in the Rain off my most recent album called Truth is Naked. This came out just before the album came out. I released every song as a single, and took a lot of work and a lot of kind of planning. Very simple chord progression behind it, but just the ins and outs of each part. I wanted it to all make sense, move smoothly, and I wanted it to be this kind of like love ballad that also had some plot twists in between. I started out with another sample. I used those several times on this album, Truth is Naked. It's a sample of kind of rain in a forest is what I was looking for, and my sound engineer and we found that on Splice. It was exactly that, just rain kind of bouncing off trees. And what I wanted to do was paint that backdrop to a recorder solo to start out the song, a recorder intro, solo, whatever it may be deemed. And just like in Drinking Alone, where I found the $5 harmonica that I used for that song, same situation. I find this wooden recorder at Ross that was pretty cool. It was probably like $3 or something like that. Decided to pick that up. I said, I'm going to put this in a song eventually. And I found the place for it as the intro on this kind of earthy sounding song with, a very natural, naturistic, whatever you want to say, intro to it. And played a very simple ditty in that beginning part, but I love how it turned out. My engineer put a very nice reverb on it, and I think it set the scene beautifully. And then I tease a little preview at the chorus, and the song starts out with just piano, really. Piano and vocals, that is. And the chorus is, I want to dance in the street and make love in the rain. I want to feel your everything, even your pain. And what I'm trying to hint at here is this song is really, a fantasy. It's I would love to do this. It's just one of those deep-seated things. And the album is called Truth is Naked. So kind of a fantasy, sexual fantasy, love fantasy, just your deepest thoughts type thing came out as the last song on the album, as well as the last single I released in promotion for it. And after teasing that chorus, I kind of further set the scene. This is what I want to do, and here's, kind of what's happening. I'm saying it's raining outside. The first drop landed on a leaf. And this is all to just piano backdrop, kind of start out ballad style, and continue that throughout. But this is sheer piano ballad at this point. And laying out, it's rain's falling. And similar to the intro, we're creeping in the woods. Nobody's going to hear us. And there's water running on our skin. I kind of hint at some sexual imagery. And hinting at the second verse's lyrics, I say, this ain't no sin, baby, let's begin. And I'll get to what I say in the second verse. But again, we go back to our refrain of I want to dance in the street, make love in the rain. The chorus, the same one teased out in the beginning. And that stays the same several times throughout the song. But what I add along with the piano are the drums start at that part. I think they come in hot and nice. And then the big bass sound I use, it's kind of like a sub that I use kind of quietly. Subwoofer sound, I think, adds a real nice punch to the chorus and certain other parts of the song. So those elements are introduced to the musicality of the song. And then after that, the bass dies down a little bit. We keep the drums going. And then as a post-chorus, per se, I add this little ditty. Again, over this really simple C major progression. And I love that kind of post-chorus feel. It just blended perfectly with the vibe of the song coming out of the chorus, which is real powerful. And something just very contemplative. Then I go into the second verse of chorus after the chorus, and pretty similar to the first. It's just now we have the drums established, we got the bass still working a little bit, and further developing with those lyrics, I'm just saying, if the skies open up, God will witness our love. We don't need no drugs to take us high enough. And after that, I say, oh, please believe, to echo the background vocal I had in the first verse, which is kind of a pun. We'll hide in the trees. And I say in the background, and never leave. just a wood, just stupid woods pun, but the never leave to go with the please believe in the second verse, kind of just echoing each other. And I like to use background vocals in kind of clever ways, but also subliminally. So, maybe you got to turn it back, hear that again. What did he say? You know what I mean? One of those moments. And then I kind of love some of the lyrics moving forward. Again, we're, on the piano ballad, bass, drums, driving us through the song. I say clouds and canopies cast shade, the scent of cool drops of rain, just getting very sensory. Stripped down will fade away. We're kind of hidden again from society, from real life, and just blending into this natural, beautiful environment. And then I say, with our clothes in the dirt, only love remains. We're naked. Truth is naked, the huge theme throughout this album, and kind of this is the culmination point. In our clothes with our clothes in the dirt, the only thing left is love, and that's what we're making in this moment. So yeah, I love those lines too. The verse lines were very cool. They developed well. And then moving back into the chorus, it's the same thing as described a moment ago. It comes in with those big drums, big bass, and the kind of what I use on that portion is more of a piano rock beat, kind of dun 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 dun, as well as the drums. It works nice. Again, so simple, kind of like Imagine by John Lennon, as far as that cadence and kind of back and forth vibe on the piano. Then I do a piano switch up, actually, which I like. I just fell in love with the chords, and I was like, I gotta fit this in somewhere. And I changed the progression and also go up an octave just to take it to another world, like calm it down and add this beautiful progression that ends with a little rundown just on the piano. That's, again, very simple, but I think it sounds beautiful. Sometimes, that KISS method, keep it simple, stupid, it really works, and it sounds great when it comes to music, I think. Pop music or, rock, all genres alike, I'd say. I have a little poem portion at that point, we can lay here eternally sacred, perfectly naked, after the storm, I'm here to keep you warm, that portion of the song. And just saying, it's kind of like the aftermath of, what we just did, so to speak. And, I'm here for you. I'm going to keep you warm. We're secluded. We're outside of society again. There's no jokers or actors, no GPS to track us. And then I kind of just end it with a repetitive no. We've gotten away from that. And then that bass comes back in. And I added this, it takes me so long to find the synthesizer sound I'm looking for on a solo portion in music, but that's what I wanted in this song. Sometimes synth to me translates to nature or the natural, even though it is a very digital sound. And I fit that in here after this piano switch up. It's kind of a very smooth but kind of squeaky synthesizer. We just mixed it down a lot so that it fit in with this kind of ballad tone and vibe of the entire song. And I played kind of like bluesy notes, which are masked by the synthesizer timbre a little bit, but just something kind of running up and down the C blues scale. And I liked how that flowed through too. And when that ends, we go into, again, I use another sample. I had a lot of fun with using those from a program called Splice, like I mentioned. What I did was a TV static kind of coming in and out, like turn it on, turn it off. And then it takes you to this whole new world. It's almost like a dream within a dream, sort of. After that TV static, I go into kind of more of a spoken word portion over some almost like emo electric guitar, just real simple, very bass heavy, but still the 6-string electric guitar. And I love these lines, she got resting bitch face, but my chick ain't never resting. Talk up to my face until I get the message. And this portion of the song was really cool, not only sonically for me, but just going through a lot of those puns and different wordplay in that portion. I love how it turned out. And I bring that rain sample back from the beginning of the song too, which I think adds a nice, again, taking to another world, again, dream sequence within this kind of fantasy sequence. Coming out of that, there's a slow build, with the guitar, but also coming into bringing those drums back. And again, I love those lines leading up to that leading through that portion. But the lines following the like I said, kind of spoken word piece area that this song, I go into more lyrics that play on the chorus chords, and also the piano with the drums and the rock beat. Again, very proud of these lines that say, "Rain like a cloud, rain like a king, let it come down, rain on over me." And again, just using some puns, rain and rain, and some alliteration as well. And I love how that turned out. It's a weird thing. It's a moment in the song where I often give myself goosebumps listening to it. You know, at being the writer, it's a weird thing, but still happens nonetheless, and very cool moment. I was happy with how we mixed that too. That's an important part of the process with those kind of emotions involved in music. Then after that, go back into our normal chorus again, and then the post-chorus portion, where just similar to the second one, I start doing this kind of O chant that I think added well to the little piano ditty that's in the post-chorus. And I thought it was a nice touch. We kind of mix it similarly to the recorder that's in the intro to the song, kind of giving this spacey, woodsy feel, earthy, and I think we got that across exactly the way I wanted it to. Then I bring that synthesizer back, echoing the same solo as before, play on it a little different, and I think it's a perfect segue into then bringing back the same piano switch up that simplifies the song, smooths it out, and I add another spoken word portion, just a lot of lyrics in this song, but I just had a lot to say on the topic, and then a lot of wordplay and things like that. But this second spoken word portion goes along with kind of the theme of the entire album. You know, I said, "Don't let the truth pass you by. Everything's a lie. I'm an abuser. I made this damn album on a computer." I'm saying, you know, I'm trying to make this earthy sound. I'm trying to use acoustic instruments, but at the end of the day, it's going through a computer program, and you know, it's kind of like a fake it till you make it type scenario. But again, playing off the entire theme of the whole album, which truth is naked, you know, honesty, and keeping that in your spirit, in your life, in your art, you know, however you want to apply it. But I reflect that in some of these, you know, fantasies I lay out in the album, some of these just internal truths that are very real occurrences, and then, you know, just talking on some universal things as well, some topics like that. Then after that portion, lyrically move down to just a build from that synth portion to a big kind of piano ending that the inspiration behind that was the last song on Sgt. Pepper's, the Beatles album, famous Beatles album, and they end that with kind of a big piano sound, and I want to do that, you know, kind of hitting multiple piano chords across the keyboard at once, and then ending after that kind of slowly. But what I do, again, on a subliminal front, is put the piano theme from the first song, Truth is Naked, the title track, that synth theme, I played on acoustic piano at the very end of the final song of the whole album. And it's one of those kind of Easter egg things, but it'd be something, if a CD were to play back, you'd hear that, and then it would go right into that theme in the first song. I used to love stuff like that on CDs when I was a kid, you know, first listening to music. But that wraps up the song, and I think it was just, you know, to highlight again, here's our theme of honesty here, and also a playback to the first song, which I enjoyed very much making and listening to this day. But that's, you know, the final single and the final song on that album, Love in the Rain. There was an intro song that kind of stems into the title track, Truth is Naked. More simple, but had a spoken word piece. But again, I love this as a cap to the album, to the theme, and just encapsulating everything I wanted to do thematically, lyrically, and musically with this album, just experimenting a lot, and also just being very open and honest. So thanks for tuning into this whole series. I really appreciate it. And, you know, look for some more stuff on YouTube. Check out the Book Nook sessions. And stream Truth is Naked along with my next album coming out very soon. We'll catch you soon.